So when we find asymptotes of rational functions, asymptotes happen at places where the bottom of the function is 0. So to find the asymptotes, we simply take the bottom, separate it out from the function, make it equal 0, and solve for x. So this is a relatively easy equation. Take the 8 over, divide by 4, and we have an asymptote at x equals 2. B, same process. We'll take the bottom, we'll make it equal 0. This one's a slightly more complicated equation. We have a quadratic. So we have a couple of options. We can look how to factor it if possible. We could go to the quadratic formula. This one's relatively easy to factor, so let's do that and save ourselves a little bit of time. We need two numbers that multiply to 3 and also add to negative 4. That would be minus 3 and minus 1. At this point, we can take this and split it off, knowing that x minus 3 equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. We're going to get two asymptotes, one at x equals 3 and a second one at x equals 1. With C, again, we have a quadratic, but this one has a value of 2 in front of x squared, so it makes factoring somewhat more difficult. Let's go through quadratic formula on it. So we need to set to the bottom equal to 0. And remember, in quadratic formula, x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. A being 2, b being negative 5, c being negative 3. Fill that all in. Simplify, we have negative 5, which is just 5. Negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 4 times 2 times negative 3 ends up being positive 24. And 2 times 2 is 4. Under the root, we've got 25 plus 24, which is 49. We can take the square root of 49, which is 7. We can split this off. So with one, x equals 5 plus 7 divided by 4. The other one, x equals 5 minus 7 divided by 4. Solve for x. Left, we get 12 over 4, which gives us 3. On the right, negative 2 over 4, which I'm going to take to a decimal simply because eventually we're going to be dealing with graphing these, and decimals are more useful for graphing than fractions, so this would give us negative 0.5. D, I haven't reserved a lot of space, but we don't actually need it. If you're thinking about it, well, we need to set the bottom equal to 0, so 7 equals 0. This is actually a nonsense statement because 7 can never equal 0. 7 is just 7. So what this tells us is that we actually have no asymptotes here. The only time we can actually have an asymptote is if there's an x in the bottom of the fraction.